What is going on, everybody? Little different style video today, not vlogging. I wanted to do a more in-depth on how to make beer can chicken because at this point, I feel like I've pretty much mastered it. First off, you will need a full chicken, beer, and I like to use a can to put it in. That way you're not cooking on all the paint and everything. And a thermometer. You don't need a big fancy one like this. Any old thermometer will do. Number 2, I like to clean up all this fat on the bottom of the chicken. You might notice I have paper towel around it just to kind of soak up any chicken juices. So now, seasoning. This is my favorite seasoning. It's called the best beer can chicken. How ironic. You are gonna lather this baby up, all angles. If your kitchen's not getting messy with seasoning when you're cooking, you're not doing it right, okay? You're gonna have a little mess to clean up, but that's all right. Now, the fun part. So, on the bottom of a chicken here, on the cavity of it, I will make 2 incisions like this, just to kind of get it a little more open. A lot of people will season the inside of it too. I haven't noticed a difference with doing that, so I don't. Now that the chicken is consenting and ready, I'm gonna take my beer. This is Athletic Brewing Company. It's actually a non-alcoholic beer. Obviously, alcoholic beers work fine. You might want something a little more flavor rather than just like Bud Light, Coors Light. You might want like a heavier beer. You really only need half a beer and you can sit there and enjoy the other half if you want because you're not gonna boil through a whole beer. Right, the moment you have all been waiting for is here. Just like that. This is where those little slits on the side come in handy. Kind of just want to get it balanced on there. Just like that. Boom. And then, another important part, take its wings, flappy, 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 flap. Take its wings behind the back, like this. Might take a little pressure. Boom. Boom. Oh yeah, look at that. This is how your chicken should look before you put it on the grill. Before we put it on the grill, you need to get your thermometer in. So the best spot to get it is in one of the breasts. I usually pick one of the bigger ones. This side is a little bit beefier on this chicken. Again, you don't need the fancy probe like I have. I just cook a lot. Any old probe will work, but it is necessary to have a thermometer. They're like $8 at Target. Take it, kind of find the meaty part, boom, just like that. Get it right in the breast, boom, ready to cook. Transferring it is kind of tough sometimes. But what you're gonna wanna do, oops, see, just like that, I told you. Get it right on there, make sure she's comfy, get it back, set her up to cook. Alright, and if you don't have a Traeger or the meter probe, that's just fine. You can do this on any grill whatsoever. You just need a grill, a beer. You could probably even do it in your oven, to be honest. But I will show you here. You're gonna go Traeger. So I like to set my grill at, can you see that there? I don't know if it's focusing. So I like to set my grill at 300 for beer can chicken. I always cook low and slow. You could go to 350 if you really wanted to. This is important. This is important. For chicken, you take it off at 165 degrees. No matter what, if you're cooking breast, anything, this is why a thermometer is so important. 165, you let it rest for about 10 minutes, and it gets perfect. Sometimes I even take it off at like 163 because when you take it off, it's still cooking. So, setting up my cook right now. We are cooking poultry, chicken, whole chicken, 165, start cook. This is, again, meter. You might not have this. If you don't, get one of these babies. This thing here, again, you can set the temp. Well, this one's kind of broken, but you can set the temperature on these things. Shut up! You can set a temperature on one of these. Again, this was like $8 to $12 at Target, and it came with a probe. I just kind of have it as a backup, but you don't need the $100 meter that I have. Set a stopwatch. You just saw me put it on, set the temperatures, so we'll see when it's done. Woo. It is gonna be resting now for about 10 minutes. It smells delicious. It smells so good. I wish this could be 40 so you could smell it, but I'll be back in about 10 minutes to show you how to chop it up. Obviously you have to take the can out too, and there is no graceful way to do this. Final time it took to finish. It is a process, just under 2 hours. So you do want to plan ahead when making one of these, or just cook it at 350. Doesn't really matter. Finally, the chicken is done and ready to eat. Well, not quite ready to eat. We gotta cut it up first. Just gonna take the legs. Boop, boop. Look at that though. They just fall right off. That's the problem with this. It's too moist, too juicy. And I always just use my hands here to kind of get all the leg meat out. I know ideally you'd be able to just pull it off the bone and eat it right there, but like I said, it just falls right off. God, it's so hot. What I'm doing right now is I'm just using this fork to like shred all the meat that's like close to the, it's like hard to get with a knife. You just kind of can take a fork and just kind of scoop it out like this. You would have missed out on this. Even that white meat's juicy. Now there's a ton of meat here left on the back. What you're gonna do, scrapey method I showed you before. Just gonna hold it down, take your fork, just scoop it out. When you're all done with that, you're just left with leg bones, the main cavity, a couple arm bones, and a bunch of meat. It's so good. If you enjoyed this video, probably will make more in the future of just cooking. Otherwise, you can watch this one. Went on a date in Denver with this cute girl I met on Hinge. It was a lot of fun. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Cut!